Welcome back to Tattoo Homewreckers, podcast where we talk about tattoos, life, and everything in between. My name is Callista, and this is
Lou.
I like that it gets different every time now.
Yeah.
That was good.
Thanks.
I was supposed to say something after that, right?
Yeah, thanks.
Classic.
That's it, yes.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm amazing, thanks, I know. That's what the Barbie movie taught me, just accept it.
Oh my god, the Barbie movie, yes, when people get complimented and they go, thank you, I worked really hard for this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to start approaching my life like that too, because I keep diminishing myself.
Well, luckily, we are doing your homework. Also, that's right, we're the kids that do homework together, okay?
And it's a good time together.
It also means that I get therapy by proxy,
Yep.
so that's even better, because I'm not paying for it.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Honestly, it just makes more sense, right? So, last episode, we talked about how... I actually don't think we even talked about it yet.
You were skipping the most important part.
I keep forgetting. I'm so sorry. What is your
This is
gender
what happens when we do 2 episodes in a day.
True.
My gender is no longer itchy.
Okay, great. Love that.
Mostly because I put on a bunch of spray deodorant. Because my armpits were disgusting. But luckily, I did get Caboose to smell them. And then he answered my foot phone.
Oh,
because he's being really good right now.
I love you guys. It's so sweet. It was very adorable. I actually thought Caboose was on the phone for a second.
No, he was answering my foot phone.
By foot phone, she stood on top of the couch and then handed Caboose her foot and said, "There's a phone call for you?"
Yeah. I said, "You have a phone call."
And he said, "No, I don't."
And I said, "Yes, you do." And then I put my foot next to his ear and his mouth, and then he talked into it.
Yeah, and I actually thought he was on a phone call for a second.
Yeah.
It was very convincing. It was very well done.
But I did get him to sniff my armpit, because I was like, my armpits smell terrible. Do you want to sniff them? He said no. And I was like, please? And he did it, and then he went, ugh.
That was so fun. He said, "Did you work out today?" That was so fucking funny. Gosh.
Yeah, so my current gender.
Right. Not itchy.
I'm not itchy. I've moved on to like non-edible cotton candy. Like, I just feel like pink, fluffy cotton candy just like floating around. And then occasionally limbs come out.
Oh god, that's so scary. Okay. Like human limbs? Like not like cute like Jellycat limbs?
Ooh, I have some of those too, yeah.
The fact that it's mixed is even worse.
Yeah. Like my arm comes out and then like a Jellycat leg.
I do like the cotton candy thing though.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
I just feel like ethereal and like light and fluffy and happy.
Oh, really big question though. So do you like the pink or the blue cotton candy? Like for edible purposes, eating purposes.
Okay, well currently I'm pink cotton candy. I'm not edible. If you try to eat me, you will die.
Get punched. Because you have limbs coming
I
out
will
of you.
punch you, and then also if you did manage to get a bite, you will die instantly. Made of arsenic.
Oh, so you're also poisonous.
Yes. Poisonous, not edible cotton candy. I'm drawn to the pink because it's prettier, but I definitely like the flavor of the blue. But I'm also just not, I can do like one bite of cotton candy and then I'm like, all right, I'm done. Caboose will eat like an entire fucking thing of cotton candy and then go back for seconds.
Well, that's the thing. Some people are whole sleeve Oreo people. I'm not a whole sleeve Oreo person. Can't do it. And so, yeah.
I'm apparently a whole box paren person though.
Okay.
Those goddamn croissants are killing me, you guys.
Let's back it up though, because I feel like if you're not a whole box paren person, I'm just going to assume that you have trash taste. Sorry.
And those vegan cookies you bought, I've been destroyed. I've eaten 4 cookies in the last 12 hours.
Let me tell you what.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but they're very indulgent cookies.
I don't like owning up to the good shit that I do, but one thing I will own up, I know what to eat.
So much.
I can find you the perfect vegan cookie. Trader Joe's, surprisingly. Yep. Trader Joe's, dude. Amazing.
You can find the perfect any food.
Thank you.
Let's be very clear. You're the food friend.
Thank you.
So I can trust you if you say, hey, you'll like this. I don't think there's ever been something that I've eaten that I didn't like that you're like, no, you'll like it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I feel like...
And that's a big deal for me because I don't trust people with food.
I love food. But, like, I love food in the sense that, like, it's not unconditional. It's very conditional.
It should be. Love should be conditional.
Period.
If you had unconditional love, you would put up with people's abuse.
Period. We gotta put that on a t-shirt.
We got a period on a t-shirt?
No, yeah, if you believe in unconditional abuse, unconditional abuse, Jesus. Anyways.
We're still tired. We're still recovering.
Yeah, we're still tired.
Okay.
My gender?
Your gender.
You know the cat from Cinderella?
Yes.
That's me.
Yes! Mm-hmm.
Kind of cunty. That's a cat.
I love that. I don't think that cat was cunty. I thought that cat was hilarious.
Oh.
Is that the difference?
Yeah, because cunty is like...
People don't understand your humor, you're cunty?
So if you're a cunt, then you're not, like, you're just being an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're cunty, it's like... For me, at least, I think if you're cunty, it's like a quip, but like you mean well, still love you. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I'll accept that. Yeah.
Or if someone's dressing cunty, that means it's like a stunning outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Serving cunt is different than being a cunt. Okay. Oh.
Therapy.
You guys just saw me completely go through. I just blanked. Therapy. Trying to own up to shit that I do. It's really hard for me. A lot of the times I do hard work and then I just instantly forget about it and then feel like I've done nothing.
The way you just said own up to shit that I've done sounded like you're trying to avoid bad shit that you've done.
Oh.
Like you're trying to avoid blame for something, not that you have a hard time accepting credit.
You can blame me all you want. That's part of the reason why I'm so easy to abuse, because I'll just believe you. I'll just be like, yeah.
So let me translate that to a non-Callista statement.
Oh.
She has a hard time accepting credit.
Horses. Sorry.
She has a hard time accepting horses are more than just men extenders. But she has a very hard time accepting the amount of work, effort, and credit like that she deserves for something. Because she puts a lot of work into things, but then does not think about that and will only find the flaws. So when she says accepting the shit that she's done,
yes,
she doesn't mean the bad stuff, because oftentimes she thinks something she's done is bad and it's actually not at all. So
I think I've done something bad and someone's like, that's a boundary.
Yes.
You're not a terrible person for having a boundary. So
yeah. So we're working on the opposite side of that. So we're sharing homework.
Right. We're sharing homework. Perfect. My Callista-isms are hard sometimes. Gators do this. Anyways, gosh, so I'm trying to actually, my therapist and I talked about the fact that, like, when joyful things happen to me, A, happiness freaks me out. B, I kind of want to instantly forget about it because joy is very vulnerable. And C, I have a really hard time looking at myself in the mirror, not physical wise, but as far as the span of the things that I have done. I would much rather just delete the file, move on to the next thing, and continuously feel like I'm never doing enough. We're trying to end that cycle. So the way she put it was really great. We are trying to reinforce joy, because she asked a brilliant question and was like, okay, what are you doing to try to reinforce the feelings of pride or like happiness that you feel about something you've accomplished? And I was like, fuck, I don't reinforce that. When I feel joy, I immediately kick up in the whole habit of, we're going to think about 20 things that could have been better. And yes, that can be productive. We talked about healthy perfectionism, where, and my therapist was really, really good. She's really good at seeing both sides of things and explaining them in perfect ways of like, listen, being humble is good. Finding things to work on for next time is good. That's what's gotten you so far. That's what's gotten you to be successful. That's what's gotten your studio to be able to be the way that it is. So it's productive, but we just need a little bit more variety in your diet, because I feel, and I always work in metaphors, I feel like my joy is a slice of cake, but I'm only allowed to have one bite. My shame and my guilt and all of that is an all-you-can-eat buffet. So I'll gorge myself on that fucking buffet. I would like to have a little bit more balance in my diet. I would like to be able to enjoy both and be healthier about things, because although, yes, it's gotten us both very far. You and I share that trait of like a lot of things. It's hard for us to give ourselves credit.
Can I interject really fast?
Yes, please.
Can we adjust that metaphor a little bit?
Yeah. Instead of cake, do you want it to be something else?
Yes, I would like for that to be vegetables.
Yeah, something healthy.
Because that is healthy, whereas like the shame and the guilt is an all-you-can-eat buffet of junk food.
That
feels good in the moment.
Yes.
But when you overdo it,
makes me feel like shit.
Makes you feel like shit.
Oh, I just spit everywhere.
Yeah. So I think it's, I think if we adjust it, then that can also help your brain see that as like a good thing.
Yes. Where my brain doesn't think I deserve the nutritional value of the joy, which is why I only eat a bite.
Yes.
But I'll gorge myself on that fucking junk food
But your
buffet.
body needs it. You need the nutritional value of eating more of it.
Totally, absolutely. And I just want a healthier diet. So what we're doing to reinforce joy, I came up with this. And I was just like, okay, I think, because she was just like, what are we going to do about this? This is something we need to work on. I'm like, okay, we could start actually, because I'm really bad at gratitude lists. Let's just essentially create a list. And I told her 5 things. She wants me to do 20. It was a lot. But when something joyful... But
why 20? Because you said?
Because I said 20. It's easy for me to come up with 20 things that could have been done better. So we're trying to come up with things that we're happy about the grand opening. Mm-hmm. So that way we can reinforce that joy and know that it's okay and like just feel happy that it happened because we worked really hard for it. Mm-hmm. And I do want to feel happy.
We deserve it.
And we deserve it.
Yep.
And I deserve it. So
and also the people that love us deserve it.
Absolutely. So if I could show up better for myself, I feel like I really can. It's that classic, if I show up better for myself, I could show up for the people who love me and the people that I love. So that's what we're trying to work on. And that's what we're going to share in this episode is 20 things that we're happy that went right.
Yep. And then our homework for the rest of the week.
Oh, God.
Because I'm a horrendous person.
You're a masochist.
And I am. It's fucking terrible. Because you were talking about how you guys couldn't come up with a solution for like how to like put more into practice.
And like more like establish more credit. Reinforce credit.
Yeah, reinforce credit. Mm-hmm. And then my stupid brain thought about how in our household, we are really good about like acknowledging other things that other people have done. So like we are always saying thank you. We're super grateful. If you've been around the shop, you know that we do that with each other all the time. That is a language that like we very much are fond of, but we're not always the best for ourselves. So now the rule for the next week, this disgusting rule, is that every time we say thank you to someone else and acknowledge something they've done, we also have to say thank me for something that we have done, and we have to thank ourselves for it. Yep. And it's already been gross and disgusting, and I hate it. Yeah. But I'm interested to see, after a week of doing it, what happens language-wise. Because we used to not be, like, really open about being like, hey, let me acknowledge all that you're doing. Let me acknowledge this.
Well, we're still working on it, you know?
And so that now is, like, a second language to us where, like, we just speak like that, and clients will be like, wow, you guys are, like, so nice to each other.
It's important.
So now we're going to try to be nice to ourselves. So we're like essentially James clearing it up and habit stacking because we already had the habit of being grateful for one another. So now we can teach ourselves to be grateful for ourselves.
Absolutely.
So I'm telling you guys this so that way next week when we're back on air, I can check in and be like, okay, so this is how it went.
Absolutely. So without further ado, it's going to be a you go, I go situation.
I didn't write mine down because I am too wiggly today.
I had to because my therapist wants to see it the next session. It's literally homework. So that way, again, we're just reinforcing joy, reinforcing credit. So here goes nothing. I'll start. 20 things that we were happy about the event. Number 1 that I wrote down. People ate the food. Okay, I know that we had food out, obviously, because we want people to eat it. But like for me, for social events, I'm very anxious. It takes me a while to warm up to being able to eat the food there. Some people are like the opposite where it's like, okay, I'm feeling anxious. Oh, great, there's food. I get to like do something. It's an activity. For me, like literally this has happened since I was a kid, just generalized anxiety. Even in school, it took me half the school year to be able to eat lunch. Yeah. So, yeah. So it was very much like I don't know why, but I was just super nauseous and I just couldn't do it. Like that was a no for me. I was anxious enough that I didn't even feel hungry. So like, yeah, it's a whole thing. Okay, that's my go.
Okay. I am grateful that people showed up in costumes.
Fuck yes. Oh my God, you guys look so good. Yeah. You guys look great.
And like, there was so much confidence in the room. Like, so many people were just so confident. And to be able to like sit in that like moment with people to be like, wow, like you look fucking amazing. And like, you could just like feel it. Like people were feeling themselves, which is the point of the shop, is for you to like have a safe space to feel yourself.
Oh, that was so good. That was a really good one. Okay, great. 2. People showed up.
That's a big one. Okay.
It is a big
you
one.
laugh. This is nervous laughter.
It's nervous laughter.
Because this is very vulnerable. But that is huge because that was something like we had discussed beforehand. Like we went through our worst case scenarios because we were obviously very nervous because this is a very vulnerable thing to do.
Right. We were very scared to do this for you guys.
Which now in like hindsight seems really silly because
the turnout was insane.
Yeah, it was a huge success, and like I don't know where you guys parked. Like there were so many people that I know that there were more than the parking lot's full of cars.
Yes. But you guys showed up, and that was a genuine concern that I brought to you. I was like, what if no one shows up? And you were like, we're gonna have a good time regardless, which we would have.
Yep.
But thank you for showing up.
Yes.
Okay, you go.
My thing would be almost like the opposite of that. I'm actually really grateful that it rained. Right. Because it was a
stormy, shitty night.
Yeah, because I know that like one of the things that I like to like learn about, obviously I fucking have ADHD, so I get hyperfixated on lots of stuff. And event planning became like a hyperfixation years ago. And when you plan an event, if there's inclement weather, plan for half of your turnout to go down. And so now I'm very grateful, obviously, for all the people that made it, but also because there was a point in which people were waiting outside the door to get into the space.
Yep.
That I'm also very grateful that it rained. And it meant that we didn't get to do the outdoor stuff.
Yeah. We were planning a fire pit.
Yeah, we took the fire pit there. We had all the furniture there. Everything was there. It was all set up. You probably didn't see it because it was hella dark because we didn't turn it on. Because it was horrible weather. Yep. But I am grateful simultaneously for the fact that it rained, so our turnout was a little bit less, or honestly a lot of it less. But then I'm also super grateful for every person that came out in the rain. Yeah, and for anyone who doesn't live in Reno and they're like, why would people fucking care about the rain? Rain here is inclement weather. It is not, we are in a desert, so I'm not kidding when I say that it does not rain here often.
No, there's a reason why I'm obsessed with England.
Yeah.
There's a reason why, because there's so much rain all the time and we never get to ever have it. So thank you for showing up, but also, thank you for the rain.
Yeah, thanks for the rain, for making it more manageable.
For our social anxiety. Okay, ready? Number 3. Our flash book looked stunning. It looked really good. I was nervous about spending the money on glitter paper for the background. I was like,
how much was the glitter paper?
Like $11.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I was like, I know it's
$100 wallpaper.
And we don't, I know. We don't like necessarily need it, but like it's going to be a moment when people look at our pink nightmare flash and everything's pink.
I promise I'll do the thing where I say something nice about myself, but I have to say something nice about you. Somebody was talking about how I think it was, I don't know can I say her name? Can I say people's name? Thelma was talking about the fact that if you want to sell her anything, put it on glitter wallpaper or glitter paper, and that like
period. I will do that.
And so it was so cool for me to like sit in that moment where you were worried about that. And I did tell the story about how you were like, oh my God, I know it's like extra money. And I'm like, that's the point of us having a shop, is that like all the details we care about.
Because
each one, every single aftercare box costs $1. And at first I was like, there's no way that like you're gonna go for that, like that's a waste of money,
right?
And you were like,
we were sad about it.
I already had like grieved the fact that I was like, there's no way, that's just not cost effective. And then Caboose is actually the person that like broke that for me, because Caboose was like, why wouldn't you, it's $1, like. And
he said it so naturally too. It wasn't like a reach for him. He was like, why? Wait, why is there an issue?
And that's how I felt when you were like glitter paper. And then I already had glitter paper as well,
which is
because
great.
we were using it for the aftercare boxes. But it was so cool to like sit in that moment where somebody appreciated all the effort. And then I got to talk about how Cole was like cutting out the stuff individually as well. And then how we were like battling with the Cricut to get the Cricut to like cut it, but Cole's cuttings were like better than a machine. But how just great it was that like somebody saw that extra effort that you put in, that you had the bravery to put in the extra effort, and that it was recognized.
Thank you.
So I'm glad that you noticed that, because that was dope.
Okay, now you have to say something nice about yourself. That's part of the exercise. Thank you.
I am grateful that I'm grateful. Thank me for taking the risk of spending $100 on bespoke Barbie wallpaper and getting over my fear of putting it on the cabinets, because they only gave me enough to do the cabinets.
I was concerned when you rolled it out.
Really scary because it was $100 for 4 feet.
I am so impressed.
And that's $25 a foot. And that was really scary because it literally took the whole thing and a little bit of MacGyvering.
I'm not going to lie. I looked at it and I was like, I don't know how you're going to make that work for the... And you made it work.
I did.
Gorgeous.
So I'm very proud of myself for that. So thank me for that.
Thank you for that.
That's our disgusting homework that we have to do all week.
Yep. Okay. Number
3? Oh, wait.
4.
Did I do my second one?
I don't think you did yours.
Oh. Was it? Are we on number 3?
So I did number 3.
Okay.
And then now it's your go.
So let me see. I said, I am really grateful that all of like the little stuff, like the laser cuttings that like Caboose did, all of those were really appreciated by people. Like the raffle box that Caboose cut on the laser, that people like noticed that and appreciated that. Because somebody asked me how long I'd been collecting Barbie stuff. And I thought it was really cute because I was like, I haven't. All of this happened this week.
Yep.
So I'm very grateful that I have a husband that can do all that and that people appreciate it.
Yeah, pull it out. It looks great. Okay. Our shirts sold out. Thank you guys. We had very limited amount of shirts, like way more limited than I wanted it to be because of printing issues. But our shirts sold out and that was dope. So there's shirts that have literally a giant pink middle finger on it that say fuck the patriarchy. And I knew it was edgy. I was like, oh, I don't know how many people are actually going to get it. People fucking bought it. It was dope. So thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm going to piggyback off of that.
Absolutely.
I am grateful that our shirts went wrong because I sometimes think that I have control issues. Now I'm learning to realize that I don't. Like, I am letting go of control issues. Yeah. But also that a lot of, like, and I do this in quotations, control issues are actually that I want things to, like...
Be done properly?
Yes, be done well. And I'm not saying perfect. Now, granted, I am a recovering, like...
Perfectionist?
Yeah, perfectionist and, like, the unhealthy way. But that I have a certain standard, and it's not some, like, crazy, unrational, like... or like unbelievable standard. So when you looked at them and can I say it?
Absolutely. Okay.
And you cried over the t-shirts and you told me that you felt really dumb for crying over t-shirts. And I was like, bitch, I've cried over t-shirts. And I told Caboose
so validating.
that I was like, yeah, she's embarrassed because she cried over t-shirts. And he's like, you've cried over almost every fucking set of t-shirts. Like, I think there were 2 t-shirts we got in South Carolina. Shout out to Angie because she crushed those. But most of them I cried over because they weren't done well enough, like, for the standard that we thought we deserved for how much we paid and also for, like, what our clients deserved.
Oh, let me tell you, it's expensive. T-shirts are fucking expensive.
But I am actually grateful for that experience because it made me realize that, like, you and I have this same amount of, like, no, we expect things to turn out well because our clients deserve that and we deserve that. But where I had wanted to do a t-shirt setup so we can just print our own shirts, that really like reaffirmed that that was the correct thing to do.
Absolutely.
Because then if something goes wrong, we can then explain that to clients. Like if we do sell shirts for like cheaper because we're like learning, then we can be like, hey, we're doing this. And it becomes a more interactive experience for clients, but we can also take their ideas and like put it on the shirts and then have like one of a kind shirts.
Yep.
That can be done to the level in which we like expect them to be done.
Absolutely.
So I'm grateful that it went sideways because of the fact that like I learned a lot about you and me. And when you said you cried over t-shirts, it validated the fact that I have cried over t-shirts.
Thank you so much. I'm really grateful that we found each other when I was at such a young age because I cannot imagine being felt like I was too much for crying over those because it was very vulnerable. And I was like, I'm trying really hard not to cry, but I really am really upset. I'm super upset at these. And like, this is devastating. And sure, whatever, it's a t-shirt order. And you're like, no, that's valid. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, it's thank you for being so validating in that moment.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it's your go.
Oh, it's mine. Oh, no, I said my grateful thing because I said that that's what I'm grateful for is that the t-shirts went sideways.
Perfect. Great. Oh, okay, number 5. Brandon gave away a ton of raffle tickets. Brandon, literally, thank you so much. I was not expecting him to work at all at that event, and he just decided to work the entire thing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
For anyone who doesn't know who Brandon is, I'll put the link. Really Caboosewell. Put the link to his profile. He also is Life Nomadic Podcast.
Yep.
And he's also a phenomenal tattoo artist.
And a phenomenal human being.
Yes. Like, genuinely, if you were at Pride, for especially the latter part of the day, Brandon gave out all of our shit there.
He did. I was really struggling giving them out, and he just, like, did it with such ease.
Yeah.
He gave away all of them in, like, an hour. It was amazing.
He's, like, a fucking hype man.
Yeah.
And it was, like, perfect because it just felt, like, so genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that, like, Brandon is not doing stuff because he's like, oh, I want to, like, do it to, like, be a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it just feels natural, like a calling where he's just like, I just want to do this because I want to do it. And it's also, like, his love language.
Yes.
And as somebody whose love language is also, like, acts of service, like, you know this because I like to sneak around and do stuff. It's my favorite.
So frustrating sometimes when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna handle this, and then you were telling me this earlier that in the dead of night when you're doing things, you're just laughing.
Oh,
because you're like, oh my gosh. And then I go and look at the finished task or whatever. I'm like, oh, I've been foiled again. Like, it's like shit like that.
I feel like a Scooby-Doo villain doing these things where she'll be like, oh, I'm going to handle that. I'm just kind of tired right now. Mm-hmm. And then it gives me this, like, sick satisfaction. Like I'm a fucking villain doing something bad.
It is
and I'm like, whoa.
Because the face that I give you, I'm always like, what the fuck, bitch?
Yes. But it's how I show love. And, like, I got to really, like, that's what I'm grateful for is, like, not just, like, the participation, like, Brandon did so much, but also that, like, I got to really see that side where I'm like, this is how Brandon shows love.
I know.
And that made me feel so fucking, like, loved and seen and just, like a deeper understanding.
And it just, like,
them as a person.
I just really appreciate, I really struggle a lot, and I'm not going to name names, but there are certain figures in my life that have been a part of my life for a very long time that always say that they're down to help, and then this is not about you. I just looked at the monitor. This is not about you. There's certain figures in my life, and I have a really hard time trusting people when they say they want to help, because a lot of the times they just end up making it a bigger issue, and basically it just would have been easier if I had done it myself and they weren't a part of it, because it's hard to explain. But I'm sure we've all had that one friend that was like, let me help you with this, and then they ended up, like, requiring too much, and or it just was a total disaster, and, like, it would have been streamlined faster if you did it yourself. So the fact that Brandon took that off of our plate and genuinely fucking crushed it and didn't make it our problem and made it so easy, and he was just so, like, I was not expecting him to work that event at all, and the fact that he just did it just to do it, really, oh my god, thank you so fucking much. Like, from the bottom of our hearts, we fucking love you. So that was my thing. I think it's your go now.
Okay, so I will then steal what's probably your next one.
That's okay.
Because I am so grateful for Cole and Rachel. Because, and so in case you don't know, Cole and Rachel are best friends. I don't know how you wouldn't know that, but they are the people that we're moving to New Zealand with, and we're going to have, as Rachel put it so perfectly, because we want to, well, I guess it was their idea, but, like, Caboose and I have also talked about this, so it feels so, like, what is that word you always say?
Kismet?
Yeah, I can't say it. There's too many, like...
Got you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of... It's a weird bunch of words together.
Yeah, the S's and the I's, and I can't, with my lisp, it, like, gets
it's
too
a
much.
whole meant to be.
Yes, but, like, we had talked about that because Caboose wanted to open a coffee shop, and I wanted to have a... I always wanted to do a bed and breakfast, and then they had talked about that, and so, like, now that's our life plans is... Which makes me feel like a child again, that I'm like, one day we're gonna do this. But the difference is, like... I mean, I always knew as a kid when I was like, one day I'm going to do this, I'd actually fucking do it. And most things that I said I was going to do, I have been fortunate enough to accomplish in my life. Mostly because I'm stubborn and I refuse to give up on stuff. But I know that it will happen. But there was this, like, awesomeness that happened that, like, they came into town. So they drove all the way here, fucking 10 hours to come and help us. And instantly were, like, helping us cut stuff out in Cricut, like, prep everything. And
working late nights.
Yes. And, like, they had driven 10 hours and then instantly are just like, put us to work.
Yep.
And I know that, like, now obviously the event was special because people showed up, so I don't want to diminish that. But part of what made it so special was that we also got to share it with them.
Yes.
And like also with Talia and with Brandon and with Caboose, because it was just like that group of us working. So was it 7 people?
Yep.
7 of us like doing this whole thing, and it just felt so good. Where it was like I knew, because they were so eager to work, like both Cole and Rachel were so eager to work, but also like the amount of stress that just got taken off. And it wasn't necessarily the workload. It's that like I didn't feel, because obviously there's a lot of stress, and I get really like short and like snappy because my brain is doing too many things at once.
Yep.
And so I get really like very short. I don't complete sentences. I'll say like the 4 primary words in a sentence. And it's like, what was that? Mad Libs? Is that the game we played?
Yep.
It's like Mad Libs. Only instead of the fun narrative, you only get the key points.
There was one point where you were like, yeah, so we're going to use that guy over there to cut the vinyl. And then like pointed to behind me, and I looked as if there was going to be a person there. And you were like, sorry, I know that was mega confusing. It's not a person.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing that's downstairs.
And it's located that direction.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But like I didn't feel like I had to explain anything or be like, I didn't feel like I had to like apologize to be like, look, I know, because I've been told so many times in my life that in those moments of like high stress that I'm just too much. And I didn't feel too much. I felt like it was like what we always talk about, where it's so easy with them, where I was like, wow, I don't feel like I'm trying. I feel like me showing up as me and being short and snappy and like not having a fucking written plan of everything and just being like, I'm just going to tell people what to do. But if I don't need you, I'm going to be like, I don't need you. And there wasn't like, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking on their behalf. Like, I didn't feel like there was hurt feelings. And like that to me felt so good.
With this group, I feel the most human that I possibly could.
Yes.
I feel the most unfiltered, just adored human being, where it's like, even like Talia and Brandon could tell that like in the beginning of the night that we were fucking stressed, that there was a lot moving parts, there's a lot to be done, there's people filing in already, and I had to like tell them to come back at 7, and like people could tell. And Talia at the end of the night told me, she's like, oh yeah, I could like feel the tension in the air. But like once the event started going, it was crazy, because it was like, okay, we're in motion now.
Yeah.
And so it's so beautiful to see human beings see each other be stressed or just not be at their prettiest, and still love us, and still be like, this is a stressful moment. That's warranted. You're good. We got you.
Yeah. Like I didn't feel like I was being judged. And like the same thing with Talia and Brandon. I didn't feel like they were like, okay, like when Brandon asked me like, what do you need me to do? And I was just like, I mean, there's raffle tickets, and like that was it. I didn't have to give like more direction.
You didn't have to tell him what to say.
Yeah, like he just fucking handled it and crushed it, and it was so easy. It was same
I heard
with like
his
Talia.
spiel at the end of the night, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. No one told you to say that. Like, you're fucking crushing it. Yeah.
Well, and like Rachel was like pouring drinks for people, and then would like come up and be like, you need a drink, and Cole would do the same thing, like, you need a drink, and they would just like hand a drink, and it was so, it just felt so like effortless that like I'm so used to. I think that's that like hyper independence, and like you were saying, like there's so many people that are like, oh, I want to help, and then you ask them to help, and it just fucking turns into a mess. And it's like there was a point when Rachel moved like cups over, and then she turned to me and she's like, are you gonna move these back the moment I leave? And like for a second I was like, oh no, I can't fucking say yes, because like I don't like the height with that height, and like it's gonna visually mess me up. But I was able, like, it took a lot of courage for me to be like, I am, yeah. And I was so scared of like sounding bitchy in that moment. But all she did was smile at me, and I was like, you get it. You get you're not insulted by this. And I think there's so many, I'm fucking crying. There's so many people that get so upset when you are like, hey, I know that's your idea, but that's not really what I'm envisioning here. And to have people that it was just so easy with.
I had a moment with Cole with the like salami roses that I had Cole and Rachel roll like little. They were such good helps. So we made little salami roses, and Cole was all like, yeah, it's just hard because like the sticks aren't like, looking good. And I was like, do you mind? And Cole's like, no, do it. So I like reorganized and then redid it so that way the sticks were kind of in like a spiral motion. So that way, even though it was a little bit chaotic, because like the sticks that I bought were too big, it was still following a sense of direction and still looked like it was on purpose.
Yeah.
And Cole was like, yeah, hell yeah, dude. And I was like, oh, thank you so much for, again, not like being in a judgmental place of, or like taking that weight and being like, I'm not good enough.
Place.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was never a feeling of like, oh God, I'm not good enough. So therefore, like, now I'm carrying the weight of making that person feel bad and feel like they're not good enough, because that's not what I mean. It was just such a, God, we have such cool friends.
I know. It's so good.
Our friend group is so fucking cool and awesome, and I'm very grateful for
and
it.
our fucking clients are
even cooler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I did mine. You have
That's
yours.
Okay. So it was the same thing. Our friends came for the big night and
wait,
helped
what
so
number
much.
are you on?
6.
That's so funny. We were like, this will be really short.
That's okay. I can skip.
No, you're not skipping any.
No, it was our friends came. It was the same thing. And then
you have to say it
7.
out loud.
Okay, 6. Our friends came for the big night and helped so much. You just heard her spiel. 7. Talia came. Talia's my niece. And did an excellent job. She worked the Barbie box, took photos for people, and she's really shy, and I'm really proud of her for not needing a break. She's never worked a job before, and she was a little bit nervous. She's like, what if I'm not doing a good job? But, like, she did fine.
Also, I saw the pictures, because her niece, Talia, took pictures of everyone in the Barbie box, because it was a big deal to me that people did not have to, like, get someone else.
Yeah.
Because
friends came,
hate that moment when you're like, okay, so one friend can't be in this because the other friends have to get their picture taken. So I'd ask you, like, hey, can we, like, pay someone? And you're like, fuck yeah, Talia will do it. Great, perfect. I already asked her. It's already handled. And the pictures are lined up, and that's a really big deal to me, that things are, like, straight and symmetrical. Especially because, like, that whole part of our shop is designed on that, like, symmetry and balance. Like, I bought something to go on my booth, and then I bought something to go on your booth, and, like, everything is balanced because that, like, helps my OCD. And I know for my other clients that have, like, my sort of, like, neurodivergency, that it's really calming. And so the pictures being so straight, and also, like, her ability to capture people's personalities in the picture, because, like, a lot of the clients, like, I'm familiar with them. So then seeing their pictures and being like, wow, you caught their joy, like, was such a big deal.
Absolutely. And she is really great at taking photos.
Yeah. You can tell.
Friends, of me, of, like, and she just does amazing. So I'm really proud of her.
Okay. So mine for that.
Yes.
Is that it's a little bit not about it's about the grand opening and not. Talia came over afterwards.
Yeah, she did.
And I got really excited because, like, we obviously, like, she's your niece, so, like, you have, like, a connection with her. But I hear you talk about her so much, and every time you hang out with her, you come back and you're so, like, bright and happy.
Yeah.
And then she's also, both her and I are very shy. I think it's funny because you do collect a lot of very shy people in your life. But I think it's because you're so outgoing that it makes it really easy, because then you don't judge us. Like, when I can't talk to somebody, you're really good about, like, okay, you don't have to talk to them. I just realized I'm complimenting the fuck out of yourself, so I just shot myself in the foot.
Yeah, because now you have to compliment yourself right after this.
I'm really grateful. Thank you, me, for the fact that even though I'm shy about in-person stuff, I am very good and easy to go up to strangers and compliment them, which is where you get shy.
I get so shy.
And if I like your performance, if I like your outfit, I will gush all over you.
I was like, I can't do that to people. And I'm so happy you can, because you got to meet Chelsea and Kwame from the fucking Love is Blind season something. It was amazing. So that was like,
I think it's because I really believe that in those moments, I have nothing. My brain just has nothing to lose.
That's amazing.
But if it's ordering food and I mess up my food, the whole world has gone down.
And I'm over here.
I'm crashing and burning.
Yeah.
I will never send food back. I can't. I physically can't.
You.
But yeah, you handle that when like stuff comes with like mayonnaise on it and I can't eat it, and you're like, I'm so, and I just fucking even talking about it, I flounder. Oh, I did it again. I fucking deflected back to you.
You did. What the hell?
That's really bad.
We're learning things. Thank you for what?
Thank you, me, for having the courage to tell people what I appreciate in them. I like that about myself. I like that I'm good at telling people what I like about them.
I love that.
And that I think that I'm good at making people feel special.
Agreed.
Oh, that was so gross, you guys.
Well done.
Ugh. But yeah, that was what I was grateful for. Is Talia came over.
Yes,
And she did
Talia's
a great job.
basically my little sister. So if I hear that any of you are mean to her, anyways, I'm sorry.
I'm still a pit bull, you guys. I will handle you.
You forget it. Number 8. People were watching the movie. I'm so happy about the fact that we had the Barbie movie playing and people were just watching it.
So cool.
Amazing. It was so cool. People were just hanging out for, again, our socially anxious folks out there. It was really important for us to have activities for you guys to do because I don't know about you. I don't like going to bars and just standing around. Hate that. Hate that. Don't know what to do with my hands. I need an activity. We need activities and we thought it was important. So it was wonderful that you guys were just chilling watching the movie. Dope.
Yes.
Amazing.
I like that people use the name tags.
Oh my God, people did use the name tags and I forgot to use mine. Oops.
I know because it's not in my booth. Because I have one from Cole, Rachel, Caboose, and I have mine and I put it in my booth.
Fake one?
Yes.
So that way I can put it in the scrapbook.
Oh, well, I stole them. We should probably move them to the scrapbook. But right now they're on the inside of my booth. So that way every time I open the door, I can like remember how amazing that night was.
Great. That'd be awesome.
So,
Okay, phenomenal. Oh, did you already?
Oh, no. I am grateful that, people use name tags.
Oh, yeah, people, sorry.
But also, I'm super grateful that people sat in the chairs. Because the pink chairs, you guys,
They're comfy.
those chairs, I was so like worried about getting those chairs because I was like, these are pink and fuzzy. And that's really vulnerable because like, what if you don't want to sit in a pink chair? And then people were just hanging out. Like they were just like sitting and just hanging out. And it was so cool to watch them like enjoy the space. And like somebody had moved this because we have stuffed animals in our chairs if you haven't been to the shop. And somebody moved the stuffed animal and put it in their lap. And that's the point of them.
Yeah. Oh, so if you guys ever visit our shops, definitely cuddle the stuffed animals because that's every single time I see someone grab a stuffed animal and just talk to me with it, I get so happy.
So nice.
I did that in therapy today. It's wonderful.
That's amazing.
Number 9. People posted about our grand opening. Oh my God.
I'm still struggling with this one.
We did have an Instagram challenge, but regardless of that, a lot of you posted just to post about it. And it was so, first of all, I don't mean to go corporate or anything, but like seriously, that really fucking helps us out. Like you guys have no idea. It's just the 2 of us tattooing in Cali Luz. So like we're a small team of people. The fact that you guys are just really posting and just being like, oh my gosh, I'm really happy for you guys. I'm really stoked. That helps us so much. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah. It makes me feel gross.
Oh.
Because it makes me feel seen and acknowledged, and that's really hard to deal with.
I will say the weight of that is hard. I try because I dissociate the moment I see it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's a post about Cali Luz, forgetting that I am part of Cali Luz.
Yes, I did the same thing, and then last night it was like late and it was quiet, and like I've been genuinely avoiding my phone for the last couple days.
Oh, it's crazy
because it's too overwhelming. So I like pulled it up and I went on I showed you and Kubis, I went on my feed and it was just pictures of people like posting about it. And I fucking freaked out and just like have not sorted out my phone. So like right now I'm just kind of waiting for all of it to go away. Because it just feels too like vulnerable with like how much we are loved. Cause like I talk about how much I love my clients, but I oftentimes think of it as like a one-sided thing where I'm like, I love them and appreciate them. And like I said before, I can handle like a one-on-one, but then when it's like constant where it's like, oh no, there's lots of people that love you, is as you can tell, because I'm getting very small if you're watching this.
And you're also getting freaking itchy again.
But yeah, it was fucking crazy. I am super grateful that people stood there and just watched the portfolios. Caboose was talking about that they like stood at the front desk. He's like, there was like a solid 5 minutes where people just stood there and watched you guys' portfolios like go by.
Can I say something about that really fast?
Yes.
That portfolio took me so long to do. It's like, I think a minute and something long. It took me, I'm not even exaggerating, probably 5 hours to do it. So thank you so much. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yep.
Okay. All right. What's my next thing?
Is it your last one? Is it number 10?
Number 10.
Number 10. We did our homework.
Oh, this kind of goes back to what you already said. Number 10, we had a huge turnout even though it was raining. You guys really showed up, and thank you so much. Again, it's probably one of the biggest nights of my life. Genuinely feels like my wedding night. This is our...
Ooh, that was weird when you said it like that.
Why?
your wedding night.
Why? Night?
The wedding night is when people get laid.
Oh.
You weirdo.
Do you see how long I was like, what are you talking about? Get your mind out of the gutter. It felt like my wedding
on
day.
The Barbie. It took you so long.
Oh my! You guys know that there's a buffering system for me sometimes.
It's my favorite. I really feel like you need to we need to grab a bunch of content of you just doing that and then just put the buffering symbol over it.
Yes, because it happens a lot.
It's so good.
My brain is an iPhone that's always running out of storage.
Centered. I just looked at the monitor and I can't get centered. I keep turning in weird directions.
Probably because you get uncomfortable and then you start wiggling. Okay. What's your last thing?
My last thing is that overall it was a massive success. Oh, wait, I do have one more thing to add to that. Yeah. So, obviously, overall it was a massive success. Mm-hmm. Nobody said any shitty things. Everyone was hella nice. Mm-hmm. It genuinely felt like I know there's a lot of shy people because, I tattoo a lot of people that are on the spectrum and that are shy, and that it was a very overwhelming situation for a lot of people, but people showed up and everyone was nice to each other and nobody was mean and there were no fights. And so it felt like just being surrounded in a giant bubble of love.
Can you tell that we're children of abuse? Because we're like, yeah, there was no fighting. That was crazy.
I think it was so nice. But also I think just so grateful that it turned out I had that idea. It's kind of like the shop itself, where I had this idea and this concept of this is what I want. But then in my brain, I'm like, yeah, but that's probably not going to happen. Also, once again, childhood trauma. Mm-hmm. Just set yourself up so that way if you're disappointed already, then it can't disappoint you more.
Exactly.
And it exceeded all of those expectations that I agree. I've already had a wedding. Mm-hmm. And when I talk about my wedding, it wasn't awesome because we didn't have the support that I had now. And I think about how that was one of the most important nights and days of my life. Mm-hmm. Immediately followed by the next day just being fucking perfect, being able to go and play with my friends. And being able to be in a place of play again. But just how great everything turned out. All the kindness surrounding the entire thing. And also, I just want to add that the Barbie box did not fall apart. Because I was very scared about that.
Period.
And we had a group of 5 people in there. So fucking shout out to them for getting 5 people in there. But then you know what? We're also really competitive people.
Sorry, you guys.
So then we got all 6 of us in there.
Mm-hmm. It was not without struggle. It was not without struggle. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, I was on tippy toes. So that way, there was foot space. Mm-hmm. But it's a great photo and I'm really excited by it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it just fucking somehow, it was so much work beforehand. But then once it happened, because I knew that all of our support systems, had us. And anything that went wrong,
we didn't notice.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
I don't think you guys noticed.
Well, and I really just felt nobody was there to judge. When it was happening, I'm used to being the person that in the middle of a party, I'm taking out the trash. Mm-hmm. And I think I only got asked 2 questions. This was hey, where are spare trash bags? Mm-hmm. And hey, what are we doing with champagne bottles? Mm-hmm. And then Brandon asked me what we're doing with the donation money. Also, FYI, for the rest of the month, we are donating to Good Luck Macbeth. So come by, get a raffle ticket. You can do it with a credit card. You can do it with cash. They're $20 for a raffle ticket, and you can win stuff. But yeah, it just felt easy. And I think that's something that I'm really struggling with is how easy it felt. Mm-hmm. But I'm really, really grateful that it did. But I'm so used to that good things should feel hard.
Right? Oh God, that's a weighted statement. I'm very much used to good things come with shitty comments to make you feel bad about your good things.
So, all compliments come with a
price.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there was no price. It was just the fact that people genuinely supported us, and holy fuck, I'm very grateful for that. So
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that concludes our episode.
On that note, you have to come up with a different win.
Okay, I'll come up with a different win. Because this episode was filmed on the same day. I am a serial outfit repeater, but just not this time. My win is I know that I have stuff to post, but being gentle with myself that things are not ready to be posted. And I know that'll get done. And I know that'll happen. but I'm not feeling the kind of like knife twisting, heart wrenching, body burning guilt that I normally would.
Good.
About being, air quotes, behind on schedule. So.
Because you make the schedule.
I do make the schedule.
And as your boss, I need you to watch the last episode of The Ultimatum.
As your boss, I would be delighted to watch the last episode of The Ultimatum.
So I'm going to hold you accountable to that before you're allowed to post anything.
Period.
Yeah, that's a really good win. I'm really proud of you for like learning to be gentle with yourself.
Thank you.
Because you're gentle with all of your friends, and learning to be gentle with yourself is important.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Oh, fucking shit! I did it again!
You sure?
God damn it! Yes! Oh my god.
Well,
I am really proud of myself for not cleaning the shop at midnight, even though it would have been delicious.
You are
just
ridiculous.
to watch your fucking face.
I would have been so fucking mad at you.
That's exactly why. Because you get to be a fucking villain while doing good things. You guys.
It's
do nice stuff for people.
Genuinely, I feel like a cartoon
and they don't
character.
know it. It's amazing.
Being like, I've been foiled again.
Exactly. It's so good. No, I am genuinely proud of myself for also learning to be gentle. To be like, oh, like on fucking Saturday night when all of us started cleaning up, and then I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to go home and hang out with my friends. And that's where my brain was. And then I just turned it. I was like, no, guys, we're not doing this now. We're going to go home. Because I knew that I didn't have if I took the time to clean then, I would not be in a place to hang out with my friends.
Totally.
And that was more important. And now I'm
100%.
so grateful that I've learned how to do that. Whew.
That was really good.
So
Now I
thank
have to
me for
ask
me.
you what your win is.
Let's see. My win was, I can't say hang out with my friends because I already said that. My win was, why am I struggling with this, you guys? It's probably honestly just watching The Ultimatum, and like today we chose pleasure over work. So we watched The Ultimatum first.
We did.
Before we came and recorded.
Yeah.
And like learning to put that first, to be like, hey, you need to take care of you because the work will always get done.
It'll always get done, and I really fucking appreciate that about you. I know I'm setting myself up. I'm so fucking grateful for you because I know that, like, you are a hard fucking hitter. And
Thank
I
you.
have literally, I'm so lucky, and I have lucked out with you. Fuck you, I'm gonna cry. And it, again, has been one of my life's greatest wonders, and one of the things I'm most proud of is our fucking friendship.
Yep.
And getting to know you. I'm really fucking proud of you because although you are a hard hitter, you are also becoming a hard rester, and I'm so fucking grateful because that means that I also have to become a hard rester, and we're holding each other accountable to actually fucking slow down.
That's what we need, a fucking shirt.
shit.
We need a fucking lawn shirt.
Yeah. Hard hitter and hard rester.
Hard hitter, hard rester.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I like to say, you work hard to party harder. And I feel like we do a good job at that.
Yeah.
But right now we just need to rest.
So I can watch TV harder. So I can binge watch harder.
100%.
Yep. Say something nice about yourself, bitch. You fucking did it. You set yourself up.
Oh, thank me.
I'm crying.
Thank me for in the future, aka in 5 minutes, I'm gonna order myself something really yummy to eat.
Yes.
So I know that like I should save money, but whatever.
Hey, that doesn't count then.
What do you mean?
Because
it doesn't
you just
count?
fucking diminish yourself. Try again. You diminished. You guys. Did she not just diminish herself? That fucking
Fine.
does not count.
Fine. You know what? I'm really happy and proud of myself for working through
There you
some
go.
issues I may have had about spending money on shit that nourishes my body.
Thank you. And on that note, we love you guys so much. I'm so glad we thought this was going to be a short episode.
Of
So
course we
instead
did.
decided to do it as a separate episode. And we will see you guys back next week where we don't know what we're going to talk about because we never do. Because it happens organically throughout the week, and you guys are just on our shared diary of this friendship and of our fucking growth with ourselves and our growth with you. And again, the words thank you do not do enough. If somebody knows a better language where it can like actually fucking get that into words of like everything that we feel. Don't start crying again. I see it. Mm-hmm. It's gonna make me cry. Then you should tell her, not me, because I'm not good with words. But if you tell her, she's really good with words. She's a word friend, and I'm the number friend.
Oh yeah, thank you for that.
So no, thank you. I had to ask. Wait, really fast before we go. It's really funny. Because, you know, I wrote, like, on the name tag, like, Lou, and then underneath it, I was like, somebody needs to come write stereotypical Barbie for me, because I don't know how to spell stereotypical. And Rachel laughed so hard, and it was, like, one of the very first times in my whole life where somebody laughed about me not knowing how to spell, and I felt so much love in that laughter.
Rachel's laugh is the best.
Oh my God, yeah. Rachel's laugh is iconic. Also, that bitch is hilarious.
I
know. I just felt so seen in that moment where I was like, you're not laughing at me. You're laughing because, like, you get it.
It's relatable.
Yes, where I was like, if I'm going to spend 10 minutes here trying to, find my phone, to then Google stereotypical, and inevitably when I transfer it over, because I have really bad dyslexia, I'm not going to transfer it right. Someone's going to make a comment about it later, and I'm like, yeah, well, I can't spell, so deal with it.
Yep.
But, like, yeah, it was great, because that's why you're the fucking word friend, because I was just like, somebody help me?
Bro.
Write down stereotypical. I don't know how to do it.
That's how you know I'm tired, because I had to write non-alcoholic on the lemonade, and I spelled alcoholic wrong, and I was like, you never do this. I was like, what just happened to you? And I was like, okay, you're just a little fatigued. It's fine.
Well, and that was in the middle of the party too.
I know.
Where I was like, we need a sign that says non-alcoholic.
I like that I wrote a sign for non-alcoholic, but forgot the fucking sign for the vegan cookies. And for myself, I didn't have a name tag. Oh my God, embarrassing. God.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So bad, you guys. Okay. So on that note, now that I told you a whole other side story. Right. Okay. We love you, or whatever words are bigger than love. I guess, you know what? I'm going to say, I appreciate you.
I wolf you.
Because that to me is more than love, is appreciation. And I appreciate you. And I'm so grateful for you guys tuning in, for you guys supporting us, and for everything. Because we really are doing big things, but we're only doing big things because you guys are here with us.
So thank you.
Otherwise, we would just be two weirdos in a room talking to each other.
You don't know, we are still that. So, thank you guys.
Okay, love you guys. Bye.
Bye.